once they've purchased the product, they get it home, they unpack it, they put, for example, that brand new TV on a wall, and that's the second moment of truth. What Google did with the zero moment of truth study was to say, that's changed. People don't work like that anymore. And what the zero moment of truth is before they get to that first moment, before they even get to the shop, they're going to see your advert and they're going to go online and they're going to research it. They're going to find out the specs, they're going to see reviews. They're probably going to know more than the salesperson by the time they reach the store. And that's a hugely powerful moment to capture your audience. And that's where search fits in. So capturing those people in that zero moment is hugely powerful. So what lies ahead for search? I think of kind of giving you a little bit of a context. Now it's time to kind of dive straight into the important aspects and new developments. Like I said, I'm going to break it up into two aspects. I'm going to look at the organic side and then briefly look at the paid side as well. So no further ado, diving straight into organic search. The biggest trend or the biggest change that we've seen on the organic front in the last couple of months, slightly older, possibly a year as well, is semantic search. And that's quite a fundamental shift in the way Google has traditionally operated their organic search. So what we mean by semantic search is Google and the other search engines are actually a lot more capable of understanding our content. So your previous kind of, I guess, SEO mandate was to identify some keywords that were relevant to your brand or your customers. Try and get high search volume keywords. Those were like the kind of objective from an SEO point of view. What happened with the semantic kind of updates, and the update from Google's side was Hummingbird. They name all their updates after strange animals. We're going to see that a couple of slides later as well. But it changed their focus. So it no longer looks at individual keywords. Google can now look at a piece of content and actually understand what you're saying, and not based on those keywords. I think an interesting example of that would be if you're traveling abroad, for example, and you're perhaps in London, and you searched on Google, how do I get to London? You would be expecting to get a result based on those keywords that you put in. That's not the case any longer. You're going to get a result, possibly they'll show you the London bus schedule, something that has no relation to the keywords you actually searched for. So they're able to understand what you're looking for and to give you the best result for that. So what does that mean for us as kind of organic search practitioners in the SEO world? Well, basically it kind of changed our focus. Like I touched on just now, our main focus used to be on individual keywords. That was basically what we did. Find the best keyword, do a lot of keyword research, and then optimize your site accordingly. So like I said, that's no longer the case, and we found that long tail keywords, so what we mean by long tail is almost a search phrase. So your long tail keyword in this example would be red Nike men's running shoes, as opposed to a short individual keyword like shoes. So with that kind of shift, we've noticed that if you target a lot more of your SEO around these long tail searches, you're likely to increase your traffic a hell of a lot more. So definitely the kind of direction that things are moving in that aspect. But it kind of goes a little bit further than that as well. So kind of based off these updates, people have changed their search behaviors and the way we interact with Google. And the biggest thing we're seeing there is the conversational kind of queries. We no longer search for shoes, we search the same way we would ask a friend. And those kind of conversational queries, you can see they're drastically increased over time. So that kind of means from an SEO perspective, we need to move from a place of, like I said, individual keywords to answering our users' questions. How can we get in our customers' minds, work out what they're looking for, and then give them content based around that actually is relevant and answers their questions. So a big shift in kind of the SEO playing field. Kind of moving on from that, but still very much related, is the local aspect of organic search. Another big trend we've been seeing probably in the last year or so is making sure that all of our clients, especially if they have a physical store, are in the Google local search results. And again, that ties back to those conversational kind of queries I touched on now. A lot of searches done by users are looking for specific places. So you can imagine looking for the best pizza restaurant in your area. You would do that search. And if you, as a business, are not in that space, you're going to miss out on a lot of traffic. It's hugely important. The update there, another strange name, was the pigeon update. Again, named after an animal. And basically, some of the main things we would look at optimizing from a local search perspective, we need to make sure that our content is relevant from a local perspective. So what do we mean by that? Again, making sure that those kind of location-based keywords are worked into your content. The main platform that we would optimize our local search on is Google My Business. And obviously making sure that all of your clients' kind of locations and stores are loaded up into that platform and optimized fully. So that's probably the most important step there. And then some traditional kind of SEO goodness there, looking at some good links and citations. And I'll touch on that in a few slides as well on why that's important. I think it's also just worth touching on the picture you see in the bottom right there. That's called the location pack, and that recently changed from 7 listings down to 3. So again, slightly more competitive to make sure that your brand is listed there, but I think kind of makes it that much more important to make sure that you're optimized fully. So I guess off the back of location search, the next kind of step is kind of where are people making those searches from? What devices are they using? And I'm sure most of you in this audience are tired of hearing about mobile first and it's the era of mobile and all of that kind of stuff. But from a search perspective, I think it is now. And as search marketers, if we ignore mobile, you're going to come short eventually. It's a hugely powerful platform, and Google's focus is on mobile. Everything they're doing, we're seeing, is based around mobile optimization and mobile devices. And that's based off where their users are. They're kind of seeing that shift. In America already, mobile searches have surpassed desktop searches, and we're very close to that in South Africa as well. We're seeing across the board clients probably between, I would say, 40 and 60% of their traffic, 35 to 40% of their traffic is from mobile searches, and it's increasing at about 5% a year, so definitely moving very quickly. Some other interesting stats that I think just prove how important mobile is as well. You can see that 77% of mobile searches occur at home or at work, and only 17% on the go. And why I think that's interesting is we often have this misconception that you only use your mobile device when you're not in front of your desktop PC or you're not in front of your laptop. That's definitely not the case. We're seeing that people are using their mobile devices all the time. Another interesting one there is shopping queries are 2 times more likely to be in the store. And again, for me, this kind of ties back to that zero moment of truth kind of principle. Your users are there in the store, in front of your product on the shelf, and they're doing a search to find out about it, to check possibly what the ingredients are, to check what the best price is. And if you can capture them in that moment, you're highly likely to get a sale there. So very powerful technology. And again, just taking that one step further, so 55% of conversions from mobile searches happen within 1 hour. So that kind of gives you an idea of the immediacy and the power there. You're standing in the shop, you're researching a product, and you then purchase straight away. So hugely powerful and a good space to try and get from a search marketing perspective. Kind of taking, as I said, we've all heard about mobile search, and we're probably a little bit tired of it, and yes, another kind of guy talking about mobile. What is the next step from there? How can we make it more exciting? And I think voice search is the answer to that. For a long time, it's kind of been seen as a bit of a fad. You probably whip out your phone at a party and kind of, get it to say something funny, and it doesn't really work. That's changing drastically. So as you can see there, globally, 40% of adults use voice search at least once a day. Those are big numbers. 55% of teenage smartphone users use voice search more than once a day, and 85% of adults view voice search as the future. So very powerful. And on that note, I'd just like to play this video quickly that kind of gives you an idea of how the technology works.